Grenadine over on the far side in the pink jacket. John Bon goes forward, green and yellow hoops. On the outside is Fernando Silva at the first, with Editor de Gite and Captain Guinness close up. Captain Guinness a little bit keen in the early stages as they stride on now towards the second, which is an open ditch. John Bon on the outside, lovely jump, reaching over from on the far side Grenadine. Captain Guinness and then Editor de Gite and Fernando Silva as they race all in a cluster up towards the winning post with a circuit to go. So it's John Bon who narrowly leads the way to Grenadine, the winner for the last 2 years. Fernando Silva on the outside under Charlie Deutsch. Captain Guinness, the champion chase runner-up, is next. And untypically, at the back is Editor de Gite, who has so often made the running in his career. Heading now right-handed and about to head downhill towards the Moor Lane plain fence. And it's John Bon, held together in front by Aidan Coleman, a half length to Grenadine. Funambul Silva on the outside, Captain Guinness, and Niall Houlihan in no hurry today on Editor de Gite. At this one, good jump by Grenadine up on the outside of John Bon there, but just reined back by Harry Cobden as they run towards the back straight. So John Bon leading narrowly to Grenadine second, Funambul Silva, Captain Guinness and Editor de Gite. Barely 3-4 lengths would cover them, jumping the first of the 7 fences down the back, and John Bon plunged at that fence. That was not his best effort, and Grenadine leads over the next. Grenadine and John Bon again maybe could have been a little bit better, 7 out of 10. Captain Guinness in second, Funambul Silva over an open ditch. And now suddenly John Bon finds himself slightly on the back foot, down the back straight, heading halfway down the back straight. Grenadine from Captain Guinness, John Bon on the inside recovering a bit, Funambul Silva and Editor de Gite. Over the next, now they come to a real jumping test, the 3 railway fences. Grenadine from Captain Guinness, followed close up now by Editor de Gite. John Bon's on the inside, and then Funambul Silva at the first of this trial triple fence formation. On towards the next, Captain Guinness. Up first this time, Captain Guinness and Rachel Blackmore leading there from Grenadine. John Bon's off the inside now, over the next. And it was Captain Guinness who led by a couple of lengths to Grenadine. John Bon improving again. They're followed by Editor de Gite now as they exit the back straight. And then a big gap back to Funambul Silva, who'll have to really fly from there to play a part. Heading on now towards the pond fence, 3 fences from the finish in the Bet365 Celebration Chase. And it's Captain Guinness and Rachel Blackmore, chased by Grenadine and Harry Cobden. Here comes John Bon coming back on the scene under Aidan Coleman. They're clear of then Editor de Gite and Funambul Silva. This is the third loss. Captain Guinness made a bit of a mess of it. John Bon challenging out wider. Then Grenadine, they round the final right-hand turn. Captain Guinness, here comes John Bon as they race towards the second last. Captain Guinness from John Bon over 2 out, nearly in the air together there. Captain Guinness on the far side, John Bon on the near side. John Bon keeps finding. They head on towards the final fence. John Bon now wearing down Captain Guinness. Here it is, the last. John Bon over, just in front from Captain Guinness in second. Now they're going to climb the hill. It's John Bon by a length and a half, by 2 lengths, by 3 lengths. John Bon, what a good horse this is. A couple of early errors. He casts them aside and he wins the Celebration Chase. The novice John Bon wins. From in second, Captain Guinness. Back in third, Grenadine, followed by Editor de Gite, and finally, Funambul Silva.
Fortune has favoured the brave decision to run John Bon against his elders for one last hurrah this season, and it has proved to be an inspired move. A couple of alarms down the back where Aidan Coleman appeared to be jolted forward out of the saddle by a semblance of an error from John Bon. Just have a look at this. He's actually jumped in okay. He's just slightly taken him by surprise.
He has.
And then he wasn't brilliant at the next, but he's just allowed, rather as at Warwick, he allowed him the time to get on an even keel and ease his way back into it. And in the end, he's beaten a really good in-form horse in Captain Guinness quite comfortably.
He has, and it was a race that promised much, lived up to a lot of it, but in no way in the style that we expected. John Bon was making the running until he made the error early on the 7 fences on the far side. So he's had to recover from that. They decided not to lead with Editors du Gite, and well, Captain Guinness has quickly got the better of his battle with Grenadine. It's a bit of a mere end to a mere season, really, hasn't it, with him?
For Grenadine, yes.
Yeah.
He's run just okay, hasn't he, without pulling up any trees. Editor du Gite looks as though he's sort of run in the manner of a horse who's had a good season but has had enough for the year.
Yes, yeah, and the fact that the Houlihan opted not to try and fire him off in front rather suggests that, doesn't it?
Captain Guinness is a horse in really good form, in the form of his life.
He is. He really is. I mean, he ran a personal best at Cheltenham in the Champion Chase, and he's probably matched it here.
He's been given absolutely every chance here by Rachel Blackmore, who I think has played with the pace quite cleverly leaving the back and has got that all-important inside after the pond, at which he wasn't brilliant.
No, he wasn't great there, but she's made sure she's kept the inside, which gains you a length or two because it's such a tight little curve round there that you do get some momentum and ground. But he's a strong slayer, John Bond, at the trip, isn't he? And he's on terms here, and in the end, he's valued for a bit more than he's won by.
He's deceptive. I think that the rider has so much confidence in this horse that if things aren't just going perfectly to plan, he'll just go, fine, I'll just let the others have at it for a little bit and I'll pick them up when I feel like it.
Yeah. Well, makes El Fabio some horse, doesn't it?
I mean, that Arkle was a stunning race.
It really was.
And you'd love to see a rematch on a slightly sounder surface just to see whether John Bond can get a little closer to him. But the way El Fabiolo won at Punchestown on good ground this week, it's going to be a pretty big mountain to climb.
It is, unless anything doesn't go well with him, then he looks the better of the pair. Good though John Bond is.
Yes, Willie Mullins was hard-pressed to nominate a more talented horse in his own yards than El Fabiolo. He kind of mumbled something about Energumen rather sheepishly. But he is a monster.
He's got a few to choose from.
This horse isn't too far behind. Is this the negative of Henderson and Mullins with Constitution Hill and State Man? You know, State Man would be the great champion hurdler in any other era, but happened to be born at the same time as Constitution Hill. John Bond would mop up every 2-mile chase, were it not for the fact El Fabiolo's there as well.
Well, you can only run against what's there to run against. And bless him, he's done that really well.
He has. Brother de Douvan, John Bond, is carving out a wonderful career for himself. Beaten only by Constitution Hill and El Fabiolo, and today he's been